Lisa and I are embarking on our longest journey to date, 500 miles from Bahamas to the Dominican Republic with a quick stopover in the Turks and Caicos. This will require multiple days of sailing and overnight passages. One important detail, we've never sailed overnight before.
Welcome to Sailing by Felicia. My name is Lisa, and this is my boyfriend Matt. I spent my life working at a desk trying to cure cancer, and Captain Matt spent his career driving other people's boats, teaching scuba diving and parasailing. We took the ultimate challenge by selling everything we own, quitting our jobs, buying a boat, and sailing away for good. This is a story how we make a life together on board the majestic 41-foot sailing vessel by Felicia.
That was crazy, but we did a really good job.
We were just sailing along at, 13 knots to 19 knots. That's what we had consistently all day. And there was a cloud that we had been watching for an hour or so, but we weren't too concerned with. We predetermined that if the wind picked up to 25 knots, we'd put the sails away. The wind kicked up to 26.6.
Very quickly.
Really instantly.
Yeah. From like nothing to 27.
So I was like, put the sails away. And then we felt the cold breeze, the barometric pressure drop that you feel right before a nasty little squall hits you. We started the engine and started to put the sail away. By the time I got back to the helm to turn into the wind was already at 32 and staying at 32 knots. We talked about what would happen about 5 minutes before. We saw a cloud we didn't like, so we talked about what we'd do with the sails if the winds increased. We determined that 25 knots was going to be our point where we put the sail away, no discussion. That was good, and we talked step by step how we would put the sails away quickly. Really glad we did, because we had to put them away in like record time. And it's been really nasty. Let's see what's blowing right now. Okay, that's not so bad. I was at the helm, so Lisa had to put both of the sails away by herself. She got halfway through the jib, which is the hard half.
Was it halfway? I didn't even know that.
We couldn't even move it at a certain point, so I went over. We both pulled on the furling line for the jib, and we barely got it furled in.
Yeah, all gusted.
And then by the time we got to the main, I ran back to the helm. Lisa was putting the mainsail away, and it was steady 32 knots. I held the outhaul line, and Lisa furled our mainsail really quickly. It was so wild.
Way easier than the jib.
We got a rainbow. That's kind of cool.
I was scary before I worked. I just knew I was tired before, and now I'm really tired.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was pulling in that sail. I was like, I don't know how I'm getting this energy, but I'm gonna be spent.
After 3 long days and 2 even longer nights, we arrive in the Turks and Caicos. We check into Customs and Immigration and get a good night's sleep. The next day, it's back to work. Lisa rents a bike to go to the grocery store, and I sit down and plan the next leg of our trip.
After taking on some groceries, I had a little bit of free time, so I biked over to the world's famous Grace Beach to see if it was as beautiful as they say. The next morning, we get up before dawn to start our journey. After sunrise, we see a pod of dolphins. We try to sail a couple of times throughout the day, but most of the time we were heading directly into 25 knots of wind, so we had a motor most of the day. Matt meal prepped some homemade chicken pot pie, which totally hit the spot for a breezy day. Before sunset and motoring into the night, we dropped the anchor and turn on Starlink only for enough time to get an update on the forecast weather. As soon as we screenshotted everything we need, we fired up the engine and began motoring into the night. The night was long, bumpy, and wet. We had to continue motoring into 20 to 25 knots of wind and with 4 to 5 foot waves. The weather finally breaks at sunrise, and it's completely glassy as we come into view of the Dominican Republic. What a sight for sore eyes. Our hearts are filled with joy and gives us energy knowing the difficult part was over. We had a pleasant surprise when another pod of dolphin comes over to welcome us.
We've been at sea for 36 hours, but we finally made it to the Dominican Republic. As we dinghy into town, we have no way of knowing that this is going to be our favorite place we've visited so far, and that we would fall in love with this little fishing village and spend the next 3 months here. Join us next Friday so we can show you what we love about Luperon. Thank you so much for watching Sailing by Felicia. We really appreciate you guys watching. If you want to help support our channel, the best things to do are just like the video, leave a comment, and if you really want to support our channel and help us keep making great videos, please go visit our Patreon page. Any amount contributed helps keep wind in our sails. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.